Here we come, one human family. Here we come, one human family. Here we come, one human family. To the moon, one human family. On to Mars, one human family. Asteroids, one human family. Jupiter, one human family. Saturn's rings, one human family. Kuiper belt, Uranus. Neptune, one human family. Kuiper belt, one human family. Pluto, one human family. Planet 9, one human family. Back to Earth, one human family. To the moon, one human family. To the moon, one human family. To the moon, one human family. Here we come, 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 one human family. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Mongo. How's everybody doing today? What a day. Oh my gosh. Monday. Monday is here. Breath in, breath out. Welcome to Mike Mongo's Astronaut Adventures. You know, sometimes, hey, Gimbal. Sometimes Gimbal forgets. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget stuff like what show we're on, Mike Mongo's Astronaut Adventures. And sometimes I forget, it's a good idea to subscribe. It's a great idea. And if you have a grown-up in the room and they want to buy me a coffee, because I love coffee, you can go to MikeMongo.com and press buy Mike a coffee. Most important thing is to subscribe, and that lets you know when the show is on. And when you're here and I'm here and we're having a show together. It is an amazing day. Wow, I hope you had a great weekend. I sure did. I'm in Los Angeles and the weather is always good. Sometimes it's overcast. When it rains here in Los Angeles, everybody gets really excited like it's a big deal. And since I was born in Florida and I'm used to rain, that's really nice too. But I love the sunshine. Today is Monday and we've got a very special guest on today. His name is Pauli the PSM. Paul, S, Sam, M, Mike. Pauli the PSM. And Pauli is a musician and he is very famous. And we're super happy to have him on because we get to talk about art in space. I mean, think about that. How come we don't talk about art in space? Because I love doing art. I love art. Like, I don't know if I do enough art with you. I should do more art. And I'll start right now, this very minute. Here's one of the things I love to do. It is really important that everybody learns how to draw stars. Stars are super important. And if you don't know how to draw a star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 over, down, up, down, over. Over, down, up, down, over. Well, you could say over, down, up. Over, down, up. I love drawing stars. Stars are art. I can draw a whole plate of those. Now, if you want to see something really amazing, watch this. I know so many people don't know how to do this, and I love doing this. This is a 7-pointed star. That wasn't my best one. I'll do another one. It's really tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-point star. I mean, it's so fun. I love teaching students that because grown-ups don't know how to do it. And so if you learn how to draw a 7-pointed star, you have a superpower that other grown-ups do not have. And I'm a grown-up and I have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I do it fast because I've practiced a lot, right? 1, down, up, over, over, up, down, up. Down, up, over, over, down, up, up. Something like that. Let's try it again. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-pointed star. That's one thing to draw. I love drawing that, but here's another thing to draw. Also very fun. It is a dinosaur. And here's a great thing. I was talking to Pauli earlier, and one of the things we talked about is how he plays drums, and I was talking about how grown-ups will say, my people, not your people, not your people, my people. Grown-ups will say, I don't know how to draw, which I don't know how to draw doesn't make any sense in the entire world. Because if you can think it, you can draw it. I've never drawn a plesiosaurus. No, I have. I love a plesiosaurus though. So a plesiosaurus is like, plesiosaurus got a head, and then it's got a mouth, and then it's got a head, and then it's got a long neck, and then it's got a body, and then it's got a tail, and then it comes back around. And then it's got, instead of feet, it's got flippers. And so I draw the flippers like that. And you know, there's flippers on the other side too. So I draw that. That's the belly. And then right there. And then right here. And then back up to the neck. And then eyeball. Kind of a friendly plesiosaurus. I doubt that they were this friendly. But, you know, and then like I draw some lines on the feet. And then the head's probably a little smaller. And this is not a vegetarian dinosaur. This is definitely a meat-eating dinosaur. So, you know, I would draw a fish trying to get away. And then big eyeball, because holy smokes, there's a plesiosaurus chasing me. So that is a plesiosaurus chasing a fish. And I've never drawn that before. And see, you can draw anything. You just think about it. It's like that. And the reason Pauli and I were having a conversation about that today, and when we were talking about art and space, is that drumming, Pauli is a drummer, and drumming is kind of like that. Like, you have to think about it a little bit. Think about drawing a little bit, same too. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all like 1, 2, 1, 2. That's called beat counting, when you count off the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Pauli is a drummer. So he's going to do that in space. That's what he's working on doing. He's working on being the first drummer in space. And drumming is art. And music is art. So bring the first drummer to space is a really good idea. That would be amazing, right? Don't you think? I think. So let's since we've been talking about Pauli, I'll go and talk. I'll show up the interview in a minute. I got to tell you something first of all. You are awesome. That is the first thing I got to tell you. In case nobody told you that today, maybe you woke up. Maybe you haven't seen anybody give you the message to remind you that you are awesome. Own this. Like, put it in your head. Like, take the idea, I am awesome. Put it in your head, and then imagine what awesome means. What does awesome mean? Awesome, it means awe. To be like, oh, wow, awe. And you are kind of like that. Like, and the more you think about it, the more kind of like that you get. Until suddenly, when you really think about who you are and what you are, you're like, wow, awesome. And that's how we do it. So you're also terrific. Terrific is kind of like exciting. You're terrific. As a human being, you're terrific. You're a terrific human being. You're doing a great job at being a human being. You know how I know that? Because you're a human being. If you are a human being, you're doing a great job at being a human being. As a grown-up, I work to be the best human being I can be. And even if I didn't try, even if I completely failed as a human being and I was mean and rotten and miserable to everybody, there's something funny about it. Like just being alive and going through life. There's some credit we get for that. It's not there's some credit we get just for being alive. So then the people who make an effort, like you do, like you're even being here is making an effort to be a future space explorer. Like you're being terrific right now. It's that simple. If you picked up a pencil or a pen and you tried to draw something that you've never drawn before, you're being terrific. If you picked up all your clothes from yesterday, if you didn't leave them on the floor, if you cleaned up your room without being asked, you're terrific. You're terrific. I bet even if you didn't clean up your room, that somebody in your life already thinks you're terrific. So that's how much more terrific you can be, and it's that easy to be terrific. Trying something you've never tried before. Overcoming fear. You ever jump into a pool when you were afraid, or jump off a diving board, or try a trick in gymnastics, or try to draw a dinosaur or a giraffe or a rhinoceros or a planet that you've never drawn before? You're being terrific. You ever see a movie that's just amazing? It's terrific. It's because people put the effort in. They intended. Sometimes we do things we intend to do our best. That's terrific. That's terrific. Terrific, it can start here, really small, and it can grow really big. You can become more terrific. You can become terrificer. So if no one's told you today that you're awesome, you're awesome. And if somebody's told you today that you're awesome, I get to be on that list too. You're awesome. And if no one's told you today that you're terrific, you're terrific. You're terrific. It takes one to know one. I'm terrific. I see you. Terrific. So terrific. Wow. I love that word terrific. In case you don't know how to spell that, let's just put that on the board right here. Just because. Here's a terrific dinosaur. Watch. T. T is for terrific. We all knew that. Is usually spelled with an ER. So that's our and then rific. If. Ick. Terrific. 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 What if we had a dinosaur named Terrific? that would be terrific. What a fun word, terrific. Like, it's fun to have words like fantastic, terrific, awesome, wonderful, excellent, splendid, superb, lovely, spectacular. Some excellent words. Those are great space words. Awesome. Super. I love these words. So my friend Pauli the PSM is a drummer. He's a rock star. He gets to travel around the world. And he and I were at a space. He gets to travel around the world and play music in front of lots of people. And he worked to do that. He didn't just buy a candy bar and get a golden ticket and now he's a rock star drummer. He worked from when he was a kid, from when he was you. He worked at it. He had people encourage him. He had people who discouraged him. And he looked inside and he saw that this is who he was, who he is. And so he pursued it and went for it. I get to show you this. So here we go. I'm going to show it to you. Let's bring this up right here. I got it ready on standby. Look, there's Pauli right there. He's a good friend. Oh, paka. All right. I am so excited to be here today. I've got a really good friend who I don't get to see a lot, but we talk a lot. And his name is Pauli the PSM. And that's him. Hi, Pauli.
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
How you doing today?
Doing really good. It's another beautiful day in Los Angeles.
It is a beautiful day in Los Angeles. The sun is out today.
It sure is.
It's almost always out.
I think the sun is always out everywhere. It's just whether or not we can see it. Is that right? Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. You know what? It's actually always out. It's a funny thing. When we don't think about the Earth as a spaceship, when we don't think about the Earth as a spaceship, we don't think of the sun being on the other side of the clouds or even on the other side of the planet. And sometimes on the other side of the moon. So
True.
you are a musician.
I am.
That makes me really excited. You're one of my favorite musicians. You're a drummer.
I am a drummer. That's right.
And you're another thing that I like to say. You're a rock star. You're
From time to
famous.
time. Sometimes.
You get to tour around to all these different places and play music.
I'm super lucky.
What's your favorite place that you've visited so far? Oh wait, I got another question. People always ask me, what's my favorite place to visit, since I travel a lot too. And I have a lot of places that I like, but I don't know that I have a favorite place. I like Earth. And so is there a place that you like to return to?
Return to my first ever tour whilst I was in college was to South Africa, and that was really special. Going first of all to Africa was phenomenal, and then with all like the history of South Africa, going there was it was beautiful, and it was very layered, very layered experience. But yeah, just I think once again, kind of being so close to nature and being able to look up at the sky at night and just see a blanket of stars. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. So yeah, South Africa is probably the most like, poignant trip that I remember.
Wow, South Africa. South Africa is one of the nations in the continent of Africa.
That's right.
There's a lot of nations in the continent of Africa.
That's right.
And Africa is a giant continent. It's at least 3 times as big as the United States. Like the whole United States could fit into just the Sahara Desert of Africa.
Africa's huge.
It's giant. So big. It's funny because this is a really big planet. And we think where we live is the biggest place. And then we go and find another place and it's really big. And sometimes when we're from a small place, we think that our place is the smallest. And then we go see another place and it's even smaller.
It's incredible.
It's good to travel.
It's so important to travel. I've been very lucky to be able to travel. And yeah, Africa is probably the most exciting and diverse place I've been to.
Where are you from? I was born in Florida, which is a state in the United States.
So I was born in London, England, which is in Europe. And my parents are from Jamaica, which is a small island, but one of the bigger islands in the Caribbean.
My family is from Jamaica.
That's right. I know we spoke about this.
And I always tell people that if I was going to have a spaceship, that I would call it Jamaica, and I want it to be no less, as if I was going to move to space, it would have to be on a spaceship that was no less than all of Jamaica. I would like a spaceship, and I would call it Jamaica, and it would have rivers, and it would have mountains, and it would have mongoose, and it would have lakes, and it would have sugar cane, and it would have bananas, and it would have, I imagine, like a little portable sun made with nuclear fusion. I want us, if I'm going to move from this amazing spaceship that we call Earth, it has to be at least as good as here. And the only place that I know of personally that is at least as good as Earth is Jamaica.
That's powerful. I do miss Jamaica. Everything about Jamaica is fun. The sounds you hear every day, the food is phenomenal. The people, everything about Jamaica. I do love Jamaica. So yeah, to call your future mission your spaceship Jamaica makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Another awesome thing about Jamaica is the music.
Oh my goodness, reggae music.
Reggae music and dance hall.
Dance hall music, that's right.
Yeah, those are great musics.
Yep, rocksteady, ska. Yeah, there's a lot of music from Jamaica. Dub
music.
A lot of music. That's
I
right.
love the word dub. And I like dub music too. It sounds like echo. It sounds like being in a cave sometimes, or being by a mountain, and you shout, what? I love dub music, and I love reggae music, and I think a lot of people love reggae music, and I think a lot of it has to do with the rhythm, and the rhythm has to do
Absolutely.
with the drumming.
Absolutely.
And when did you decide to become a drummer?
When I was 15 years old, in London, I applied for this competition. It was a national competition in the UK called Young Drummer of the Year. And it was just, all these kids could apply to be, the top drummer. And there was this competition where we all sat down and we played in front of all these famous judges. And the first year I applied, I got to the finals and I came second. And I was like, oh man, it would be so good to win this because
Mm.
I really enjoy playing drums. So the following year, I dusted off my sticks and I went back and I tried my hardest again in front of all these new judges and I won. And I think that was the day that I realized I wanted to be a full-time, like proper musician. And I haven't looked back ever since.
When you were a little kid, did you practice drumming?
All the time. Even before I was a drummer, I would always be tapping on things or like with my pencil in school, just patting away. And I think I was fortunate that people realized that I had this natural knack of rhythm, I guess. But then the thing that people don't realize is that everyone has rhythm. Even when you're born, just your heartbeat, doo-doo, doo-doo, that's a natural rhythm. And when you're walking down the street, that's a natural rhythm. So I think everyone in their own way is a drummer. It's just finding your place within the sphere of music, finding your musical rhythm, finding your musical language. And that's what I've done with drumming.
Rhythm is very important. It's funny because many people think of it as a mystery, but you explained it really well. Rhythm comes from our heartbeat. And so we're all attached to it. And
Yeah.
and then when we really pay close attention, rhythm reminds me of surfing. When I practiced surfing, it was really hard and I couldn't do it and it was difficult, but I kept on trying and I kept on trying. And then one day I got up on the board, I was surfing and I was surfing. One day I surfed, and the first day I surfed, I realized I would never not surf again. Not that I wouldn't fall off the board again, but that I would never quit doing this the rest of my life. Once I understood what it was, there was no way I could never do it again. And I think that rhythm is a lot like that. Once you
Totally agree.
once you find it, it's like a treasure. When I was growing up, there was a song I used to sing. It was on a Christmas or a holiday TV show called Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and it would say, "Put one foot in front of the other, but up." And that's the rhythm part. And soon you'll be walking across the floor. Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. And that dun 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 da 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 da. In my head, it just kept playing, and I kept on thinking about it. And then suddenly, I found something that I hadn't seen before, and that's how I found rhythm.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. So when you were growing up and you were playing drums, would people encourage you or would they discourage you?
That's a good question. I had a bit of both. My family was very encouraging and they'd push me to go as far with it as I desired. Um, but equally, it became a bit of a distraction when I was at school because I was so focused just on the drumming. So there were teachers at school that weren't really for me pushing ahead with drumming. They'd rather me focus on my other schoolwork. So there was a bit of push and pull, a little bit of conflict there, but I rose above all of that and I finished my school and I finished, studying music as well, and I'm here today.
And you did both.
I did both. So you can do both.
Do you think that the people that discouraged you were as important, or were they important for you becoming a drummer?
Um, were they important? Yes. Because it solidified the fact that I was doing something that I was really passionate about. If there was ever a moment that I wasn't sure that this is the exact thing I was supposed to be doing, my rebellion against what was what I was supposed to be doing affirmed that fact. So I risked a lot. There was a lot of risk involved
You were like, this is what
in
I'm
dedicating
supposed to be
myself.
doing.
Yeah, you have to follow your heart to a certain degree, and I think because my parents were so encouraging, I had that support system in place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in life, there's always going to be people that disagree with what you're doing, but I think the main thing is just to be considerate and respectful um, of the situation and the wider circumstances at hand. So yeah, I'm quite fortunate that I've got a very supportive and loving family around me that always I could always just rely on for some advice if there's something I wasn't sure about with regards to the people that were kind of saying that maybe I should stop.
It's very funny. It makes me laugh thinking about this because of all the people that told me I shouldn't be an astronaut teacher or said there's no such thing as an astronaut teacher 15
Right.
years ago. Over the years, there have been people who wouldn't even talk to me.
Wow.
It makes me laugh because the thing that you said is really true. It made me re-examine who I am and what I wanted to do and why I'm doing it. And they were all the right reasons. And so I never quit. I never stopped. And now here I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah, isn't that great? Like, and
Yeah,
so there are a lot of people, you even, who have encouraged me along the way and said really supportive and wonderful things. And it's funny because when people who are unhappy say that you can't or shouldn't do something, and people who are happy say that you can and you should do something, it's why would I have to listen to the people who are happy?
Absolutely. Of
Yeah,
course.
because that's how I want to be.
That's a great way of looking at it.
So you get to work, you and I have both got to work with astronauts before.
We have.
Mm-hmm. And I think that you might be one of the artists that goes to space.
I would love that. I've been working on it secretly behind the scenes.
You made a video. I saw you in an astronaut uniform in a video.
That's right.
Yep. And me and you were underneath the space shuttle at a big space party with astronauts there too.
That's right. That was in Florida.
At the Kennedy Space Center.
That's right. The Kennedy Space Center.
Underneath the space shuttle Atlantis.
That's correct.
That was terrific. And you got to show your music video with you in an astronaut suit to all kinds of astronauts.
That's right. Yeah.
And they loved it.
Thank you for the introduction. My name is Pauli, the PSM, and it's with the greatest pleasure that I'm going to be sharing the world premiere of my next music video, which is called Bus Case, and believe it or not, I shot it in space. So, here it goes.
Okay. Have you ever felt like this? It's a strange feeling like I'm going round a twist. Have you ever been that guy in the ends that can chase every girl and you just can't miss? Have you ever been that goon in the club when every don in there knows your name? Have you ever got shit for something that you did and you got let off? Yeah, I just bust case. 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 just bust case. I just bust case. I just bust case. I just bust case.
Yeah, it was really good fun. I think I really enjoyed uh, projecting into the future, what my idea of going to space could look like.
Mm.
And it was a fun exploration of ideas, and also just the challenges of what it is to CGI myself into space.
Mm.
So yeah, it was a really fun experiment, and I'm looking forward to the day that we can make it a reality.
There's a terrific saying, it's see it, be it. And so when we see ourselves doing something, and when we imagine ourselves doing something, it leads to us figuring out the steps for us to be able to do something.
Yes.
Have you ever practiced that?
Yeah, definitely. I think most of the things I do come from a thought, first of all, and then that thought, when I write it down, becomes a thing. And then it's about working towards that thing, whether it's a goal or a dream or some sort of aspiration.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, you just work towards it every single day. But yeah, I think thoughts are things. Once you get them out of your mind, you can manifest them into physical things, and that's what we did with that video.
And then you just said that you have ideas and then you write them down.
That's right. I think I might even have my book with me. This is so I write everything in my journal. This is my.
Wow.
Can you see the little rocket on there as well?
Wow. Air PSM, that's you.
That's me. So every day I write things down in this book. It's like my little Bible journal thing.
So you keep your ideas. And so that when you have them, sometimes I have good ideas. And if I don't write them down, I forget them. And even though I knew I had a good idea, I can't remember it.
They're better out of your head than in.
When they're important to me, I always write them down. I can write them in crayon, I can write them in pencil, I can write them in pen, I can write them in marker, I can write them on a wall, I can write them on a whiteboard, I can write them on a notebook, as long as I write them down. I even write my dreams down.
That's so important.
And then I remember how I feel during the dreams.
Wow.
So, do you have any musical equipment right there?
Yeah, I've actually got this. I'm actually using a floor tom for a table right now, so that's musical equipment. And I'm in a studio, so yeah, I'm surrounded by drums and
Wow.
guitars and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of instruments here.
You play music all the time.
Music is my life.
It's your job too.
It definitely is my job.
And it's a good job. You like your job.
I love my job.
Some people don't like their job, and I love my job.
Yeah, you gotta do what you love and love what you do.
Do what you love and love what you do. I say that all the time. Cool. So if you were in space, do you think that you could play drums upside down?
Definitely.
I think so too. I think that I could do anything if I could be in space, I could teach upside down. I could do gymnastics upside down. I could sing upside down. I could do anything because the gravity wouldn't pull the blood to my head. You're kind of just, even when you're upside down, you don't feel like you're upside down.
Right.
You could be the first upside down drummer in space ever.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's make it happen.
Okay, I'm enrolled. Is there anything else I wanted to ask you about? I got it. I remember. There's all these students that watch this show, and a lot of them have amazing dreams, and some of them don't have people around them to support them like you had when you were growing up. Do you have any suggestions for them?
My suggestion would be never stop talking to your friends. Never stop dreaming. And also just never give up on yourself. I think even when you don't have people, you still have yourself, and you have to kind of trust that sometimes that's enough. And by trusting in yourself, sometimes people will believe in you based on the fact that you're doing the thing that you envisioned for yourself. I think that's something that I'd encourage people, young people, just trust yourself, believe in yourself, never stop speaking about your ideas, never stop dreaming, never stop having a vision. It's a beautiful thing to have a vision for a life that you want for yourself, um, and and just never stop. That's the other thing. Just never stop. There's always moments when you might want to take a pause, and that's fine. Take a pause, recoup, figure it out, and never stop. Once you pause, take it off pause again, then keep on going. And that's part of life. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint, and we're all in this journey together. So anyone who ever feels alone as well, I think it's important to look outside of your immediate world and just realize that there's other people going through similar situations to you, and there's always a way out. There's always a way out and a way up. So I'd say be encouraged. Reach out to people like Mike who care. You can reach out to me. I'm on social media, and yeah, we're all in this journey together. So let's all get to the next level together.
We're
And if
all in
I'm
this
not win,
together.
and if I'm not winning, then you're not winning. If you're not winning, then I'm not winning. That's how I see it. So let's all come up and win together.
Let's all win together.
Yep.
That's terrific advice. I'm glad you had a family who supported and encouraged you, because I'm glad of the person you are today.
Yeah, I'm super grateful. I'm very grateful.
Thanks for being in our world.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I hope we get to have you again.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's definitely make it happen.
Okay, Pauli.
Thanks, Mike.
Talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Baka baka. Wow. That was maybe one of the best interviews I've ever had on the show. What great advice. Pauli said, follow your dreams. Follow your dreams no matter what. And he said, work on them every day. And he worked on his dreams even when he was you. And now he gets to go all over the world and play music in front of people. And he's working to be the first drummer in space. That's a dream. And he said, never stop dreaming. And surround yourself with people who believe in your dream. These are amazing. I got to watch that interview again. That was really good advice. That was good advice if you want to be an engineer. That's good advice if you want to be a nurse. That's good advice if you want to be a plumber. That's good advice if you want to be a guitarist. That's good advice if you want to be a soccer star. That's good advice if you just want to play soccer in college. That's good advice if you want to play soccer in college. That's good advice if you want to play a sport anytime. That's good advice if you want to win. That's good advice if you want to be an author. That's good advice if you want to be a painter. That's good advice if you want to be a mom. That's good advice if you want to be a dad. That's good advice if you want to be an adventurer. That's good advice if you want to be a traveler. That's good advice if you want to be a tourist. I mean, this is good advice. Never give up on your dream. Never give up on your dream. Whatever it is your dream, I always say, study your business like homework. So whatever is the thing that you want to do, study it so you know all about it. You get to know everything. Whatever it is that you want to do, study it, pursue it, study it. Find out how many type of people, like how many drummers are in the world, how many football players are in the world, how many teachers are in the world, how many sixth graders are in the world. And then what's it take to do the job that you want to do? What's it take to be a nurse? What's it take to be a doctor? What does it really take? What do you got to do? Who do you got to have support you? I mean, when I was traveling around, like I travel a lot, and when I started, I didn't have anyone paying my way to travel. I got to pay my own way, and that means I got to work extra to be able to pay my way when I was traveling. And I think that Pauli was probably the same way. When he started playing music, when we start something brand new, we kind of invest in ourselves. So a lot of astronauts are the exact same thing. Cyan Proctor, our friend Dr. Proctor, she started, she went and did college. She paid, she worked hard. She invested in herself, and she never let go of her dream about going to space, even when she was told that people who wear glasses can't go to space, which is how it used to be. But then we changed all that. And then when the rules changed, when the technology evolved so that people with it doesn't matter if we have glasses or not, she was ready. And you can be ready for whatever your dream is. Our friend Story Musgrave, the astronaut, had it. Remember, he taught me. He said 90% of success is showing up. And I always say that 95% of success is showing up ready. So if you show up and someone else doesn't show up and you're ready to go, let's say if it's a game, a sports game, and you're dressed out and you're ready to go, guess what? And you know what? Here's the funny thing. Like I've actually done this before. I've shown up and I've dressed out for whatever the occasion was, and someone who was supposed to be there didn't show up. Like, what if Pauli went to a show and he's already practiced and ready to be a drummer, and the person who was supposed to perform didn't show up? He would have a chance right there. They would say, okay, you want to play? And Pauli would be like, I do. And then, boom, he'd be in just like that, because he was practiced and ready and dressed. He was ready to go. 95% of success is showing up ready. And you can do that. And another thing that Pauli said is practice every day. Like if there's something that you really love, do it every day. Practice every day. And it may sound like work. I don't know if that sounds like work. It just depends, because he said this other thing, which was super important. It was do what you do. What you, can you see that? Love. And love what you do. Do what you love. And love what you do. Do what you love and love what you do. He said that. That was really important. And that's what makes it makes it really easy. Gimble's not letting me turn right here. It's funny that light just went out when I was talking with Pauli in the interview, and it just went out while I'm talking with you. Do what you love and love what you do. That is the important thing. And that's what makes practicing really simple. Because if you're practicing to do what you love, you'll work hard. We work hard at everything that we do, what we love, we work harder at. This is one of those secrets. Do what you love and love what you do. When you do that, everything else just falls into place and works out. Like, let's say you wanted to be a writer. Like, I'm a writer. I'm an author. I get to write and publish all the time. And because of that, I write all the time. And when I was you, I was always writing stories. I would write down story ideas. Sometimes I would even draw them, what they look like. My son Raphael does that. He draws them out. He draws the picture of them. And then I got very good and comfortable with words and writing and letters. And I would just write and write and write. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be, my friend Nicole Stott, the astronaut, she is an artist astronaut, and she painted her own spacesuit and then wore it to space. How cool is that? You can Google Nicole Stott's, Google Nicole Stott art, and it comes right up. She is amazing, wonderful, terrific, awesome. That's definitely Nicole Stott. And she opens the doors for artists in space. In fact, people said when we go to space, when we've been to space before, astronauts have said when they've gone up there, they said, we should have sent a poet. We should have sent a poet. Because a poet is somebody who paints a picture with words. that the rest of us can share in their experience. It's really important. Oh, let me see something right here. Something's going on with I got flashing signals all over the place. I hope everything is okay. Looks good. Looks good. I don't know what the signal is. Yeah. Yeah, a poet is a person who paints pictures with words. A poet is a person who paints pictures with words. Have you ever tried to paint a picture with words? Have you ever tried that? Paint a picture with words? Paint a picture with words. Like, have you ever painted a picture about your cat or your dog or your house or your mom or your dad or you with words? Like, I even like to draw. I like to draw me. You could draw you. Have you ever drawn you? You know what is fun? Draw a picture of yourself and give it to somebody. Give a picture of yourself. Like, I know what I look like, kind of. Like, here's my glasses. Whoa, that's not my glasses. It's so funny. Of all the people, here are my glasses, just like this. And here's the arm, and here's the other arm. And my hair is kind of long right now. Goes down, and it goes on this side too. My hair is kind of long. I usually have my hair short, and then right here. And then my nose. There's my nose, and then I have nice full-size lips. I got big lips. And then I got eyes. I got a twinkle in my eye. And I don't have a big chin. I got a round face. My face is kind of round. So, like, that's me. Yeah. I got ears. Got little kind of ears. And the inside of my ear. Yeah. That's me. Like Mongo. It looks just like me, doesn't it? I forgot my teeth. So, a poem, people draw themselves with poems. And Pauli does the same thing with music. And so imagine a person going to space and making music about space. Like Pauli makes music about life. Pauli makes music about the people in his life. Maybe he makes music about students. Maybe he makes music about you. Maybe he makes a song to connect with you about seeing yourself in space. I think he kind of has, actually. It's called Bus Case. It's the one I play. All right. So, I would love if you guys have any questions, ask questions about space and art. Ask teachers about, imagine space and art, because space without art would just be really boring, to tell you the truth. Because it is so fun. Art is so fun. Art is fun. It expresses how we feel. If we're angry, if we're happy, if we're sad. It can be music, it can be poems, it can be writing, it can be drawing, it can be painting, it can be chalk. It doesn't have to last forever. Look, art is something that we get to draw again and again. There's no limitations. I love the thing that I just draw, and I'll draw another one, just like that. It's that simple. I don't get connected to it like that. I like to make it, and then I move on and I make another one. And I give you permission to do the exact same thing. But most important permission I'm giving you today is this: that when we move into space and we were carrying all of the best things about human beings into space, we're bringing art to space. So if you practice art and you want to go to space, if you want to be a space artist, what about a space dancer, space ballerina? Can you imagine how beautiful that would be? I want to feel what a drum beat feels like in space. So whatever thing that you love doing, imagine doing it in space, because that's what we're going to be bringing. We're going to be bringing the best about human beings, humanity, humankind to space and making it space kind. Space drums sounds like a great idea. And whatever idea that you come up with to bring to space, I think that's a great idea too. So that's what I got to say to you. I'm looking for some more questions. So if you have any questions, if you have any friends who have questions, send those questions to me. Like Pauli, I'm on all the social platforms. I'm easy to get a hold of. Don't forget to subscribe. Super important. And have a great week. I think you're awesome. You carry that with you until the next time we see each other. Carry it forward into this awesome world. You're the reason I'm here. That's how incredible you are. Until next time, this is Mike Mongo, and in the words of my people, pow pow pow.